Oh, baby, the power rankings getting shaken up today. Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to another episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom Kitty Goes Meow Grossi, and today we'll be breaking down the top 10 power rankings heading into week 7 of the NFL. Before we get to that, I want to do a big shout and thank you to some brand new patrons and YouTube members. First, on the Patreon side of things, we have Dan Warburton, we have Eric Thompson, we have Tom Grossi submit to the almighty owner of the Green Bay Packers, all hail Dalvin Cook. Haven't you just beaten us once since we've hired Matt LaFleur? And we have Maximilian Hubbard. A big shout out and thank you to you all. And over on the YouTube side of things, we have Packers suck, Vikings better. Just got to look at the record. The Wicked, we have the Hegert man, we have Stress, we have B Griff, we have Meeps, we have Indigo, we have Joe the Crone, and Robbie Zeep. A big shout out and thank you to you all. So heading into week 7, things are in fluctuation. You had the Buffalo Bills losing to the Titans on Monday Night Football. You had the Chargers getting blown out by the Ravens. The Chiefs sucking for an entire half of football. What's going on? All I know is there's some newcomers in the power rankings this week, and some are falling way, way down. First, let's start off with number 10. And you know what? Gosh darn it. It's the Tennessee Titans. The Titans, they impressed me last night. And yes, they lost to the Jets, which is why I love football, because anything can happen any given Sunday or Monday, or I guess technically Thursday. Also, if they're playing on Saturdays, sometimes during the playoffs. Regardless, the Titans, their defense, which has been radically inconsistent, was pretty damn good last night, holding the number 1 offense, the Buffalo Bills, in check. Constantly getting after Josh Allen, pressure after pressure after pressure, the sacks forcing some mistakes. The Tennessee Titans came to play. You look at those first 2 drives and they're able to hold the Bills to just 6 points. And then at the very end, you have a goal line stand with the game on the line and they come up clutch. And of course, you can't talk about the Titans without Derrick Henry, who was a monster last night. 3 touchdowns, and that guy just has such speed. Poor Micah Hyde standing back there doing the Lord's Prayer, just hoping he doesn't die. Making a stop, though, so kudos to you, Micah Hyde. You're a braver man than I am. The Titans, they're a scrappy team. They're an inconsistent team, they're a flawed team, but they're a scrappy team. And I feel like because of their performance last night, I gotta give them props. Hell, when they lost to the Jets, they didn't have any of their receivers. But the Titans do just enough to get into the top 10. Number 9... this is your day. You got the Kitty Goes Meow Cincinnati Bengals. That's right. I'm putting them in the top 10. After a classic with the Green Bay Packers, they come in once again and they destroy the Detroit Lions. They're like, hey, I'm the only kitty around here besides the Panthers and also the Jaguars, but we'll deal with them soon enough. The Bengals, 34-11. Burrow, absolutely incredible. Jamar Chase continues to be incredible, making his claim for the Offensive Rookie of the Year. The Bengals, we knew they're a good football team. Their offense is clicking with Joe Mixon getting healthy. It's going to get even better. Their defense, a bit underrated. Definitely a lot better than they were last year. And while I'm not saying yet that the Bengals are a playoff team, I will say that their matchup with the Ravens next week is going to be real interesting. And if they wind up beating them, who knows how high the Kitty Goes Meow can fly. Number 8, you got the LA Chargers. Speaking of the Ravens beat the ever-living crap out of the Chargers, and it was freaking ugly. Held the Chargers offense to 1 touchdown, and hell, they even missed the extra point. Austin Eckler had single digits. Justin Herbert was their leading rusher. Yeah, Chargers did not look good. They were shut out for 3 quarters, the first, the third, and the fourth. So that's real bad. They got punched in the mouth. Now, here's the thing. Maybe this is the game they're just going to get it out of the way, get punched in the mouth early, and move on. However, this could have a pretty substantial impact on the AFC playoff race down the line. It's a very long season. We're nowhere near done. I think the Chargers are still a top 10 team, but they'll be looking to rebound from this loss quickly. Number 7, you got the LA Rams. Complete domination, blew out the Giants. Cooper Kupp, his cup just overfloweth. He's just so damn good. Cooper Kupp is having an absolute incredible year. Stafford is still in the conversation for MVP. The defense were able to beat up the tattered Giants. Even Kadarius Toney getting injured. The Giants are just in rough shape right now. The quality of the opponent was definitely not great in the Giants. However, I still got to give props to the Rams. They're still a top 10 team, and they came in, they did what they were supposed to do. They won big, and now they're moving on. Number 6, you got the mother-loving Green Bay Packers. All those injuries and still able to get the W. Aaron Rodgers telling the Chicago fan base, hey, who's your daddy? I own you. By the way, you could also own your own I Own You shirt by going to the link in the description. The Packers right now are injured. Darnell Savage went out with a concussion. Preston Smith is injured. Josh Myers got injured in that game. Lucas Patrick had to step in and did very well at center. The silver lining is that maybe this is going to be the turning point in which the Packers are going to start getting healthier. Jair Alexander seems to be progressing nicely. They still don't know if he's going to need surgery or not, but David Bakhtiari is eligible to come back now. He's going to be practicing this week. No word if he's going to be available for the Washington football team game this Sunday, but this is good news. The Packers utilizing Dillon and Aaron Jones were successful, Devontae Adams still being Devontae Adams, and Aaron Rodgers played pretty damn good football. And that offensive line, even though they're beat up, still was able to readjust and play well. So with all that being said, the Packers are a beat up football team right now, but they still continue to find ways to win. They're playing Washington on Sunday, and then they have a date with the Cardinals. Number 5, escaping the jaws of defeat, you have the Dallas Cowboys. Dak, man, over 400 yards against a good Patriots defense. Played damn good. Zeke, not as effective this week, but the defense, you had highs and lows. You had Trayvon Diggs going, look, I'm Trayvon Diggs, I'm so great. And then, you had the secondary getting burned for a big touchdown. Went into overtime. It was a nail-biter. It was a close one. And I know there's some questions about Mike McCarthy's play calling, but at the end of the day, the amount of talent that's on this football team seems to supersede whatever Mike McCarthy is calling. There's a lot of talent on this team, and I think they can go far. Their schedule's a joke. They're already going to win their division. And so because of that, watch out, because the Cowboys might get real high up when it comes to seeding, and they may be tough to stop come playoff time. Number 4, you got the reigning defending Super Bowl champs, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Defense was on point for 3 quarters against the Philadelphia Eagles. Tom Brady continued to do Tom Brady things and just tearing them apart. And when the Eagles were able to claw their way back, Tom Brady was like, haha, that's cute. And then decided to win the game. So Tampa is getting healthy at the right time. I know Richard Sherman is injured, but that defense is coming along a little bit more now. Vita Vea is just a freaking monster. The run game, Leonard Fournette was incredible on Thursday. He's getting more involved, and they are a very balanced and dangerous football team. They have so many targets to throw to, and hell, they don't even have Gronk. So the Bucs are still a top 5 football team, even though they went against a lesser opponent. They're still there. Number 3, you got the Buffalo Bills. Tough loss. And the things that were the most surprising for me was the offensive line and how poorly they played protecting Josh Allen. And honestly, the bigger surprise was the defense. This defense shut down Patrick Mahomes last week. And I was like, damn. They held him to 7 points in the entire second half. And I was like, if they could do that against the Chiefs, they should have no problem with the Titans. Nay. Derrick Henry was a nightmare for the Buffalo Bills. And he was able to tear him up, break a long run for a touchdown, and then score 2 more after that. The Bills, again, still a good football team, could have won this game multiple times, whether it was converting just one of those times in the red zone early on, or whether it was kicking that field goal at the end and sending it into overtime. Regardless, the Bills, they played aggressive. They're still a fantastic team. They're still a top 3 team. One could argue they should be in the number 2 spot. But for me, the Bills, because of this loss, they take a little bit of a step down and make way for a brand new number 2 and number 1. Number 2, I gotta give them props. You got the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens like some other teams on this list, haven't lost since week 1. And I think it's just time to just give the Ravens their due. They have won in so many different ways, whether it's all through the legs of Lamar Jackson, whether it's through the arm of Lamar Jackson like you saw against the Colts, whether it's last second freaking bombs by Justin Tucker, or it's just complete dominating defense by the Ravens against the freaking Chargers. They have done it almost every single way with all of those injuries, and I think some respect is due on their name. Lamar Jackson didn't play the greatest game in football, but he didn't have to. They're still able to have some kind of running game. Hell, even Le'Veon Bell is scoring touchdowns, and their defense, like I said, is playing damn good football. The Ravens are going to be a scary team come playoffs, and they have a lot of ways that they can beat you, and they punch the Chargers in the mouth. So for my number 2 spot, that's so Raven. And finally, number 1, you've been waiting for it. You've been dreaming about it. The new number 1, the undefeated Arizona Cardinals. Dominant performance against the Browns. Going into Cleveland, getting the W. I know Nick Chubb didn't play. Kareem Hunt got hurt. Baker Mayfield is hurt. JOK is hurt. There's a lot of injuries on that Browns football team. However, still a statement win. Kyler Murray, absolutely phenomenal. He's in the conversation for MVP. They were able to get a run game going. Their defense was dominant. 5 sacks, 3 turnovers. Fantastic. Oh, and they just traded for Zach Ertz to give them another weapon on offense. You have DeAndre Hopkins. You have AJ Green. You have Christian Kirk. Now you have Zach Ertz. And oh yeah, Rondale Moore when he decides to be good. You got a lot of weapons. The Cardinals are a very good offensive football team, and that defense, every now and then, they can have these breakout performances. So right now, the Cardinals, the only undefeated team left, they're 6-0. They got a pretty easy week against the Texans next week, and then a Thursday night showdown with the Green Bay Packers. So let's see how long they can hold on to it. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. I did take the Chiefs off just because they looked horrible in the first half. They were able to rebound, but it's not against a good football team. And for the Browns, I still think they're good. They are just injured to crap right now, and they have to worry about the Broncos on Thursday night. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Where should some teams be on this list or not be on this list? Let me know. You know, find me at TomGrossiComedy.com or at TomGrossiComedy, all social media, see down below. Check out podcasts on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, and of course YouTube. And a big shout and thank you to all the patrons over at patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy and the YouTube members. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.